My wife convinced me she wanted to have a baby, and for some reason, I let myself believe her. The day we got married, she dragged my butt to the hotel room where she had organized the whole rose petals and balloon display. And I guess love really is blind, because 3 weeks later, we saw the 2 pink lines pop up. At first, Anna was over the moon. We spent every weekend looking at baby catalogs together, and we had baby names for a girl and a boy. There was just one issue. Anna didn't have many female friends. The 2 she did have were still living in her hometown, and all the girls in her work were either jealous or bitter towards her. And after reading about how important girlhood is to a mother, I knew I had to do something. So I organized for her to go attend a local feminist group for women around her age. I figured they'd just be left-winged, regular people. I wish I had known while dropping my wife to the library that it was the last time I'd ever see her again. Because the woman that returned wasn't my wife, for the most part anyway. Usually when I see my wife, she wraps her arms around my neck and I twirl her around. But this time, I saw something I'd never seen before, hatred. But she smiled right after, and I figured that I had just imagined it. She told me the meetup had gone really well, and I was practically beaming with joy. I had no idea it was the calm before the storm. She continued to attend every Tuesday and Thursday. Sometimes it was even the highlight of her week. And after 3 months, she came home gushing about how excited she was for our baby girl to be born. I gently reminded her that we didn't know whether it was a boy or girl yet, but that's when her face turned super serious. I don't need an ultrasound to tell me what I already know. There's no way my body would bring another man into this world. I swear I thought she was pranking me, but then she proceeded to gag like it was the most disgusting thing in the world. Anna, come on. Boy or girl, it's our baby. That's all that matters, right? She turned away from me and started scrolling through her phone. I jokingly tapped her on the shoulder to get her attention again. Don't you dare, she hissed. You wouldn't understand. You're one of them. The words hit me like a slap. So I did what any husband would do in this situation. I called her sister. You see, up to this point, my wife had been perfect. I was hoping it was just the pregnancy hormones, but I needed to have a safety net in case things went south. And because I was an orphaned foster kid, that safety net had to be her family. According to her sister, Anna had always been extremely easily influenced by the wrong crowds. Usually it was just a phase, but she promised that if our child was a boy and anything happened, they'd be there to step up. I instantly breathed a sigh of relief. Fast forward to the 20-week ultrasound. It was a disaster. When the technician cheerfully announced, "It's a boy," Anna actually shoved the wand away and sat up. "Check again," she demanded. "You're wrong." The poor technician looked bewildered. "Ma'am, I've been doing this for 15 years. See here? That's definitely—" "I said check again," Anna interrupted. I had to physically hold Anna back as she lunged at the woman. The technician called for security, and we were escorted out. The day our baby was born should have been the happiest day of our lives. But even before the baby came out, the nurses confirmed it was a boy. I jumped up with excitement. My wife started screaming harder, as if the pain of the news was even worse than the pain of giving birth. And when baby Leo finally met me and his mom for the first time, my wife just lay in bed completely straight-faced, holding him at arm's length like he was a disgrace. As soon as we got home, I knew it was time to break the news to my wife. "Hey, so your family offered to take the baby in for a while?" "Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes," she exclaimed without a second thought. I told her they would be coming in an hour, and her and baby Leo went for a nap together. His last nap with mommy. I was watching TV when I could hear baby Leo crying. My heart dropped, and I instantly ran up the stairs calling my wife's name. But when I got to the top, the door was locked. Something deep in my gut told me it wasn't right. I frantically tried to bang on the door to wake her up, and when it didn't work, I used all my force to kick it down. What I saw made my heart break. My wife was lying right on top of baby Leo. Leo was already covered in bruises. My wife insisted it was an accident, but I didn't care. As soon as her family arrived, I handed Leo over and told them to bring him to theirs immediately. "You almost unalived Leo," I yelled, voice shaking. "Oh, typical male. Always blames the woman for things she can't even control." I stopped listening after that, because as I watched back the baby monitor footage, I saw it. My wife locked the door and proceeded to lie on top of Leo with her eyes wide open. It was planned. Week 1 started with me packing Leo's things while Anna watched from the doorway. She didn't help, just stood there with her arms crossed. I grabbed diapers, formula, clothes, everything a baby needs. My hands shook as I zipped up the diaper bag. Anna's parents arrived within minutes, and her mother immediately took Leo from my arms. He was still crying, those awful bruises already forming on his tiny body. Anna's father looked between us, his face pale. They left without saying much, just promised to keep him safe. I moved into the guest room that same night. Couldn't stand being near Anna after what she'd done. The next morning, I drove to the hardware store and bought new locks for every door in the house. Installed them myself while Anna was at her Tuesday group meeting. I also backed up the baby monitor footage onto a spare drive and hid it in my car. Something told me I'd need it. Anna came home from her meeting angrier than usual. She went straight to Leo's nursery and started throwing his things into boxes. I watched from the hallway as she ripped down the animal decals we'd put up together. When she noticed me, she spun around. "This room needs to be cleansed of his presence," she said. I just walked away. By Thursday, she'd cleared out most of Leo's stuff. I came home from work to find her loading boxes into her car. "Where are you taking those?" I asked. She ignored me and drove off. Later that evening, I noticed the baby monitor's SD card was missing. My stomach dropped. I checked everywhere, but it was gone. Friday morning, I found a note on the kitchen counter. Anna's handwriting. saying, "Neat and precise. The custody situation will be corrected sooner than you think. No child should be kept from their mother." My hands trembled as I read it. I immediately called Anna's parents to warn them. They assured me Leo was doing well, eating better already. Her mother mentioned they'd set up a schedule where someone was always watching him. Week 2 began with me walking out to my car for work and finding all 4 tires slashed, completely flat, rubber shredded. A handwritten flyer was tucked under the windshield wiper. It accused me of misogyny, child endangerment, and weaponizing the patriarchy against a vulnerable new mother. The language was straight from Anna's group's online posts. I'd seen similar phrases on their social media pages when I'd looked them up after Anna first started attending. I called the police to file a report. The officer who came out was sympathetic, but said without proof it was Anna, there wasn't much they could do. I had to get my car towed and spent the rest of the day dealing with insurance. Missed work, which my boss wasn't happy about. When I finally got home that night, Anna was in the kitchen making herself dinner like nothing had happened. "Rough day?" she asked, not looking up from her salad. I didn't respond, just went to the guest room and locked the door. I could hear her humming in the kitchen, some tune I didn't recognize. It made my skin crawl. The rest of the week, more flyers appeared. On my car at work, stuffed in our mailbox, even taped to our front door, all with the same accusations, same language from her group. I started taking photos of each one, building my own file. Anna never mentioned them, but I'd catch her smirking when she thought I wasn't looking. Week 3 brought the legal papers. A process server knocked on our door early Monday morning. Anna had filed for sole custody of Leo, claiming I was an unfit father who had kidnapped him from his mother. The paperwork was full of lies, said I was violent, controlling, that I'd isolated her from support systems. Every accusation was the opposite of reality. I spent the next 3 days scrambling to find a lawyer. Finally found one who specialized in father's rights. We met Wednesday, and I showed him everything. The monitor footage backup, the photos of the flyers, documentation of the slashed tires. He reviewed it all carefully. "This is good," he said, "but we need more. Medical records, witness statements, anything that shows you're protecting your son." Thursday, I drove to the hospital and got copies of the security reports from the day Leo was born. The nurses had documented Anna's refusal to hold him properly, her comments about not wanting a boy. I also went to Leo's pediatrician, who wrote a letter stating Leo was thriving in his grandparents' care, gaining weight and meeting all milestones. The bruises had healed, thankfully, but the doctor had photographed them during Leo's first visit. Friday was the emergency hearing. The judge, an older woman with gray hair, reviewed both petitions. Anna sat across the courtroom with her lawyer, wearing a conservative dress I'd never seen before. She'd even put on makeup to look more sympathetic. When the judge asked about the urgent danger Anna claimed Leo was in, Anna's lawyer stood up. "My client believes her son needs his mother's care immediately. The father has shown a pattern of controlling behavior, keeping the child from her." My lawyer presented our evidence calmly. Hospital records, the pediatrician's letter, photos of the vandalism to my car. The judge scheduled a full hearing for the following month, but denied Anna's request for immediate custody. Anna stormed out of the courtroom, her heels clicking angrily on the marble floor. Week 4 started quietly. I'd developed a routine: work, visit Leo at his grandparents' house, home to sleep in the guest room. Anna and I barely spoke. But Thursday night, my phone rang at 2 a.m. Anna's father panicked. "The smoke alarm's going off. Something's burning in the kitchen." I threw on clothes and raced over. By the time I arrived, they'd already put out the fire, a dish towel on the stove, smoldering. The fire investigator who came out said it looked deliberate. The burner had been turned on recently, the towel placed just so. No fingerprints on anything. When I got home at 4 a.m., Anna was in bed, fully dressed. "Where were you?" I asked. She yawned. "Couldn't sleep. Went for a drive to clear my head." But her car hood was cold when I checked later. Week 5, the text messages started. Unknown number, prepaid phone. Dozens of messages calling me abusive, saying I'd stolen Leo, threatening to expose my crimes to everyone. The language was familiar. Same phrases from the flyers, from Anna's group's posts. I didn't respond, just screenshot everything. Saturday, I drove to every corner store within 10 miles, checking security footage. Finally found it. Anna buying a prepaid phone with cash 3 days before the text started. The store owner let me record the CCTV footage on my phone, added it to my growing evidence folder. Week 6, Anna tried a new tactic. She convinced her younger cousin Lily, who was studying psychology at the local university, to write a statement. Lily sent it directly to the judge, claiming Anna had suffered from postpartum psychosis the night she hurt Leo, but was now completely recovered after intensive self-reflection. I only found out because Lily posted on social media about helping my cousin win her case, with the letter attached. I screenshot it immediately. She deleted it an hour later, but I already had the proof. When I confronted Anna about it, she shrugged. "Lily's studying psychology. She knows what she's talking about." I pointed out that Lily was a sophomore, not a licensed professional. Anna just smiled. The judge won't care about that detail. Week 7, things escalated. Anna's feminist group started a fundraiser for her legal fees. The donation page painted her as a victim of domestic abuse, a mother separated from her child by a controlling husband. Donations poured in, hundreds, then thousands of dollars. The breaking point came when Anna posted a photo of herself with a bruised arm, implying I'd hurt her. I recognized that bruise immediately. She'd gotten it 5 days earlier when she'd insisted on moving heavy boxes by herself, refusing my help. I had the hospital discharge summary from when she'd gone to get it checked, worried she'd sprained her wrist. The timestamp showed showed it happened while I was at work, with witnesses. I forwarded everything to the fundraising platform with a formal complaint. They froze her account within 24 hours, pending a fraud investigation. Anna was furious. She threw plates in the kitchen, screaming about injustice. I locked myself in the guest room and called my lawyer. He said to document everything. Stay calm, don't engage. So I did. Week 8 was the hearing. Anna arrived with her sister-in-law, Sarah, who ran a local mother's support group. Sarah clearly thought she was supporting a wronged mother. She sat behind Anna, nodding along as Anna's lawyer painted me as a monster. During the break, I approached Sarah in the hallway, handed her a USB drive without saying a word. She looked confused, but took it. 20 minutes later, Sarah came back into the courtroom, face pale. She whispered urgently to the bailiff, who spoke to the judge. After a brief conference, Sarah was called as a witness. She testified that she'd just watched the baby monitor footage, saw Anna deliberately hurt Leo. More importantly, Anna had called her the next day, begging her to support a lie about postpartum psychosis. Sarah had refused then, but Anna had told her she'd find another way. The judge ordered an immediate independent child safety evaluation. Anna's lawyer objected, but the judge overruled him. The evaluation was scheduled for the following week. Week 9, the evaluator made an unannounced visit to Anna's apartment. She'd moved out of our house by then, renting a small place nearby. The evaluator's report was damning. Anna had turned Leo's would-be nursery into what she called a protest art installation. The walls were covered with slogans like "End Male Tyranny" and "No More Sons." Photos of baby boys from magazines were defaced with red paint. The evaluator noted serious concerns about Anna's mindset and ability to safely parent a male child. Week 10, Anna made her most desperate move yet. Sunday afternoon, she showed up at her parents' house during their weekly family lunch, acted sweet, apologetic, said she just wanted to hold Leo, had been going to therapy, was getting better. Her parents, wanting to believe their daughter was improving, let their guard down. Anna cooed over Leo, fed him a bottle, changed his diaper. Everything seemed normal until her father noticed her slipping something into the diaper bag. Adult allergy medication, crushed into powder. Her father grabbed Anna's wrist, called for his wife. Anna yanked free and ran for her car. In her panic, she sideswiped a parked car leaving the driveway, left paint transfer and a broken taillight piece behind. The neighbors saw everything, called the police, but Anna was gone before they arrived. Week 11 brought criminal charges. The police obtained a warrant for reckless endangerment based on the attempted medication incident and the hit and run. Anna's lawyer, seeing the mountain of evidence against her, convinced her to negotiate. The plea deal included mandated therapy and supervised visits only if a psychiatrist cleared her after 6 months. A restraining order was issued protecting both Leo and me. Week 12 saw Anna's feminist group implode. Their treasurer discovered Anna had been skimming from the fundraiser even before it was frozen, using the money for personal expenses. Members started questioning other things Anna had told them. The group's social media filled with apologies to me, to Leo. The online harassment stopped overnight. Several members reached out privately, sharing concerning things Anna had said during meetings about her son. Week 13 was the final family court hearing. The judge reviewed everything: the monitor footage, the arson's attempt, the medication incident, the psychiatric evaluation. She granted me full legal and physical custody, praised the protective steps I'd taken. Anna could petition for limited contact after demonstrating sustained stability through therapy. The judge's words were firm. The child's safety must come first. Week 14, I finally moved back into the master bedroom, packed away Anna's remaining things, repainted Leo's nursery in soft yellows and greens. Anna's parents helped me move his crib back in, install baby gates at every stairway. We established a routine, weekly dinners where Leo could be surrounded by loving family. Anna's sister started coming too, bringing her own kids. Even Sarah came once, apologizing for not seeing the truth sooner. Anna began court-mandated counseling. Week 20 brought a progress review. Anna's therapist reported she was attending all sessions, beginning to accept responsibility. She'd written a letter of apology that my lawyer forwarded to me. I read it aloud to Leo during his bedtime routine, his big eyes watching me seriously. Then I filed it away. Maybe someday, when he's older, he'll want to read it. The court allowed brief supervised visits at a neutral drop-in center. Anna showed up to the first one, held Leo awkwardly for 20 minutes while a social worker watched, then left. 6 months after everything began, Leo took his first steps. We were at his grandparents' house for Sunday dinner. I knelt on one side of the living room, Anna's parents on the other, all of us calling to him. He looked between us, grinned, and toddled straight into my arms. Everyone cheered. Anna's mother cried happy tears. That night, after Leo was asleep, I went to my car and deleted the last backup copy of the baby monitor footage. Justice had been served. My son's future didn't need to live in that shadow. We were free to move forward, surrounded by family who'd chosen love over ideology, safety over anger. Leo would grow up knowing he was wanted, protected, cherished. That was all that mattered now. The following Tuesday, I got a call from Anna's therapist. She wanted to meet with me privately to discuss Anna's progress. I agreed, thinking it might help Leo in the long run. But when I arrived at her office, something felt off. The therapist, Dr. McNicholas, seemed nervous, constantly glancing at her phone. Your wife has been making concerning statements during our sessions, she began carefully. She keeps insisting that Leo was stolen from her. She's fixated on getting him back, no matter what it takes. My blood ran cold. What kind of of statements. Dr. McNicholas pulled out her notes. She's been researching custody laws in other states. She mentioned having supporters who would help her. I'm worried she might be planning something. I thanked her and left immediately. That afternoon, I installed security cameras around my house and changed all the locks again. I also called Anna's parents to warn them. Her mother's voice shook when she answered. Actually, we were about to call you. Anna showed up here this morning asking strange questions about our routine with Leo. When does he nap? When do we take him to the park? Things like that. The next few days passed in tense silence. I kept checking the security footage, watching for any sign of Anna. Nothing happened until Friday afternoon. I was at work when my phone buzzed with a motion alert from the cameras. Anna was at my front door, trying different keys in the lock. When none worked, she walked around to the back of the house, testing windows. I called the police while racing home. By the time they arrived, Anna was gone, but she'd left something behind. A manila envelope taped to the back door. Inside were printed screenshots from parenting forums where she'd been posting under fake names, asking for advice on reclaiming a child from an abusive father. The responses were disturbing. People suggesting she document everything, build a case, even consider moving to a state with different custody laws. That weekend, Leo's first birthday was approaching. We'd planned a small party at his grandparents' house, just family and a few close friends. Anna wasn't invited, obviously, but somehow she found out. The morning of the party, balloons and a giant teddy bear appeared on their front porch with a note. For my baby boy, Mommy loves you. Anna's father wanted to throw everything away, but I stopped him. Keep it all. Document everything. We took photos, saved the note. During the party, I couldn't shake the feeling we were being watched. Sure enough, when I checked the street, I spotted Anna's car parked 3 houses down. She was sitting inside, watching through binoculars. I walked over calmly, knocked on her window. She rolled it down, smiling like nothing was wrong. Just wanted to see my son on his birthday, she said sweetly. Is that such a crime? You're violating the restraining order, I reminded her. You need to leave. Her smile vanished. You can't keep me from him forever. A mother's love always finds a way. She drove off, but her words haunted me. That night, I barely slept. Monday brought a new development. Anna had hired a different lawyer, someone known for aggressive tactics in custody battles. He filed a motion claiming Anna's mental health had dramatically improved and requesting unsupervised visits. The documentation included letters from 3 different therapists, not Dr. McNicholas, but others Anna had apparently been seeing without the court's knowledge. My lawyer was concerned. She's therapy shopping, he explained, going to different therapists until she finds ones who will write what she wants. It's manipulative, but not technically illegal. We spent the week gathering counter-evidence. Dr. McNicholas wrote a detailed report about Anna's concerning behavior. The security footage of her trying to break into my house was particularly damning. But Anna's new lawyer was smart. He argued that a mother trying to see her child showed natural maternal instinct, not criminal intent. The hearing was set for the following month. In the meantime, Anna ramped up her campaign. She started a blog called A Mother's Heartbreak, detailing her journey to reunite with her stolen son. The posts were carefully crafted to paint her as a victim of postpartum depression who'd been unfairly punished. She never mentioned trying to hurt Leo, just that she'd been struggling with mental health issues that are now resolved. The blog gained traction. Comments poured in from other mothers expressing sympathy. Some even shared their own custody battles. Anna responded to each one, building a network of supporters. She was careful with her words, never directly lying, but twisting the truth until it was unrecognizable. Then came the interview request. A local parenting magazine wanted to feature Anna's inspiring story of recovery. My lawyer advised against trying to stop it. It would only make me look controlling, so I watched helplessly as Anna posed for photos in a borrowed nursery, holding someone else's baby, talking about how much she missed her son. The article came out 2 weeks later. Anna had given them a photo of Leo, one from his first week of life, before everything went wrong. The headline read, "Local Mother Fights to Reunite with Son After Mental Health Crisis." The article portrayed me as an unforgiving husband who'd abandoned his wife in her time of need. My phone exploded with messages, some from people I knew asking if I'd seen the article, others from strangers calling me heartless. Someone leaked my work email, and the harassment started there too. My boss called me in, concerned about the company's reputation. I wanted to fight back, to tell my side, but my lawyer cautioned patience. Let her dig her own grave, he said. The truth will come out in court. But Anna wasn't waiting for court. She started showing up places she knew I'd be. The grocery store, the gas station, the park where I sometimes took Leo. Always careful to stay just outside the restraining order's distance. Always watching, taking photos with her phone. One evening, I was loading Leo into his car seat after visiting his grandparents when I noticed Anna across the street. She was talking to an elderly neighbor, showing her something on her phone. The woman kept glancing at me, her expression growing more disturbed. Later, I learned Anna had shown her edited photos that made it look like I was roughly handling Leo. The psychological warfare was exhausting. I started varying my routines, taking different routes to work, shopping at different stores, but Anna always seemed to find me. It was like she had nothing else to do but track my movements. Then came the break-in at my office. Nothing was stolen, but someone had gone through my desk, scattered papers everywhere. Security footage showed a woman in a hoodie and sunglasses, but her face was never visible. I knew it was Anna, the way she moved, the way she held her shoulders, but knowing and proving were different things. A week later, I discovered why she'd broken in. A co-worker mentioned seeing a concerning post about me on social media. Someone had shared photos of my work workspace, highlighting a prescription bottle on my desk. Anxiety medication I'd been prescribed after everything with Anna started. The post claimed I was unstable and medicated, questioning whether I should have custody of a child. My lawyer filed a complaint, but the damage was done. The post had been shared hundreds of times before it was taken down. Anna denied any involvement, of course. Her lawyer claimed it was probably one of her concerned supporters acting independently. The custody hearing was now 3 weeks away. Anna's campaign intensified. She organized a Mothers Supporting Mothers rally in the town square, ostensibly about custody rights in general, but clearly about her case. About 50 women showed up, holding signs about maternal bonds and fathers who weaponized the system. I watched from my car, Leo safe at his grandparents' house. Anna stood at the center, tears streaming down her face as she told her version of events. How she'd been suffering from postpartum depression, how instead of getting her help, I'd taken her baby and thrown her out. The crowd murmured sympathetically. Someone started a chant, "Bring Leo home." That's when I noticed something chilling. Anna was wearing a necklace with Leo's picture, but not just any picture. It was one taken at his birthday party, the one she'd watched from her car. She'd somehow gotten a photo despite the distance. The realization that she'd been closer than I thought made my skin crawl. The rally made the local news. The reporter interviewed Anna, who spoke eloquently about mental health stigma and mothers' rights. She mentioned the upcoming hearing, hoping the judge would see through the lies and reunite a mother with her son. The bias was obvious. The reporter clearly sympathized with her. That night, my phone rang at 3 a.m. Heavy breathing, then Anna's voice, sing-song and eerie. Leo's room looked so peaceful at night. Blue walls, elephant mobile, sweet dreams, baby boy. I bolted upright, ran to check the windows. Everything was locked, cameras showing nothing. But she'd described Leo's room at his grandparents' house perfectly. Had she been watching through a window? I called Anna's parents immediately. Her father found footprints in the flower bed outside Leo's window, the flowers crushed. We filed another police report, but Anna had an alibi. She'd been at an all-night diner with 2 women from her support group. They swore she'd been there from midnight to 4 a.m. The timing was too perfect, too convenient. But their stories matched. My lawyer was getting frustrated. "She's building a narrative," he explained, "making you look paranoid, unstable. Every time you report something, she has witnesses saying she was elsewhere. She's trying to make you seem like the one who's obsessed." He was right. I was starting to question myself. Was I being paranoid? But then I'd remember that night with Leo, the bruises, her cold eyes as she hurt him. No, I wasn't imagining things. Anna was dangerous, and she was getting smarter. 2 weeks before the hearing, Anna made her boldest move yet. She showed up at Leo's daycare. Yes, I'd finally enrolled him, needing to work full-time. She didn't try to take him, just stood outside the fence during playground time, watching. The teachers called me immediately. When I arrived, Anna was gone, but she'd left something behind. Tied to the fence were dozens of pink and blue ribbons, each with a message. "Leo's mommy loves him. Families belong together. Let me come home." Other parents were reading them, some looking sympathetic. The daycare director was apologetic but firm. Anna hadn't technically done anything wrong. She'd stayed on public property. That evening, I found Anna's car parked outside my house again. This time, she wasn't alone. 3 women from her support group were with her. They weren't doing anything, just sitting there, watching my house. When I approached, they rolled up their windows and drove away slowly. The intimidation tactics were working. I was exhausted, constantly looking over my shoulder. Leo could sense my stress. He'd become clingy, crying when I left the room. Anna's parents were feeling it too. Her mother had started taking anxiety medication. Her father installed a security system. Then came the letters. Not to me, but to everyone in my life. My boss, my co-workers, my neighbors, even the pediatrician. All from concerned citizens, questioning whether I was fit to raise Leo. The letters contained just enough truth mixed with lies to seem credible. They mentioned my anxiety medication, the multiple police reports I'd filed, making me seem unstable, and questioned why I was keeping a mother from her child. My boss called me in again. While he was supportive, he was also concerned about the disruption to the workplace. 2 co-workers had complained about feeling unsafe with all the drama. He suggested I take some time off until things settled down. I knew what that meant. Anna was succeeding in isolating me. The pediatrician was more direct. "I know what's really going on," Dr. Patel said during Leo's checkup. "But I have to tell you, other parents are asking questions. They're worried about their children being in the waiting room with yours. It's not fair." But fear spreads quickly. I wanted to scream. Anna was systematically destroying my life, and she was doing it all while staying just within the law. Every move calculated, every alibi prepared. 1 week before the hearing, things reached a breaking point. I came home from grocery shopping to find my front door slightly open. My heart pounded as I called 911, then entered carefully. The house had been ransacked, not violently, but thoroughly. Drawers opened, papers scattered, photos moved, but nothing was missing except one thing: Leo's favorite stuffed elephant, the one he slept with every night. The police found no signs of forced entry. The security cameras had mysteriously stopped recording an hour before I left the house. The system had been hacked. That night, Anna posted a photo on her blog, her holding Leo's elephant, tears in her eyes. The caption, "Found this at a donation center. My baby's favorite toy, discarded like he never mattered." This is what happens when fathers get custody. They erase the mother completely. The post went viral in her support network. Comments flooded in about heartless fathers, about mother's intuition, about the obvious signs that Leo needed his mother. Someone started a petition demanding the judge review the case. It gathered gathered 1,000 signatures in 2 days. My lawyer was blunt. She's playing a long game, and she's playing it well. But we have the evidence. The original footage, the medical records, the witnesses. Don't let her get in your head. But she already had.
Like and follow for part 2. Just kidding, assholes. We fucking hate part 2s just as much as you do. Due to the high volume of video requests, priority will go to those that subscribe to my YouTube. Thank you. Love you.
I wasn't sleeping. I'd lost 15 pounds. My hands shook constantly. The stress was affecting my work, my relationships, everything, which was exactly what Anna wanted. She needed me to look unstable, unreliable, unfit. 3 days before the hearing, I made a decision. I took Leo and went to stay with an old friend 2 towns over. I needed to get away from Anna's constant presence, to clear my head and prepare for court. My lawyer supported the decision. It showed I was prioritizing Leo's well-being. But Anna found us within 24 hours. I don't know how. Maybe she'd put a tracker on my car. Maybe someone in her network spotted us. But there she was, at the local park where I'd taken Leo to play. She didn't approach, just sat on a bench, feeding ducks and watching us. I packed up immediately, but the damage was done. She'd proven that I couldn't hide from her, that no matter where I went, she'd find us. The message was clear. There was no escape from a mother's love. The night before the hearing, I couldn't eat. Leo sensed my anxiety and refused to sleep. I paced his room, holding him, wondering if I was strong enough to keep fighting. Anna had turned what should have been a clear-cut case of child protection into a murky battle of narratives. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Tomorrow, everything changes. Sweet dreams. I didn't sleep at all. As dawn broke, I dressed Leo in his nicest outfit, packed his diaper bag, and prepared for what felt like the battle of my life. Anna had spent months building her case in the court of public opinion. Now, it was time to see if the actual court would see through her manipulation. I dropped Leo off at his grandparents' house. His grandmother hugged me tight. "You're doing the right thing," she whispered. "We know who Anna really is. The judge will too." I hoped she was right, because if Anna won any form of unsupervised access to Leo, I knew in my gut that we'd never see him again. She'd run, disappear into her network of supporters, and spend the rest of her life poisoning him against me. The courthouse loomed before me. Through the glass doors, I could see Anna already there, surrounded by supporters. She wore a conservative dress, her hair pulled back, looking every inch the grieving mother. Our eyes met across the lobby. She smiled, that same cold smile I'd seen the night she hurt Leo. I walked into the courtroom feeling like I was carrying the weight of the world. Anna's supporters filled one side, whispering among themselves. My side had just my lawyer and a few family members. The contrast was stark. The judge entered, and we all stood. This was a different judge from before, Judge Martinez, known for being thorough but fair. Anna's new lawyer immediately stood up, launching into a passionate speech about mothers' rights and the importance of second chances. He presented the letters from Anna's new therapists, emphasizing her remarkable recovery. My lawyer countered with Dr. McNicholas's recent report. He laid out the pattern of escalation, the break-ins, the harassment, the stolen elephant. But Anna's lawyer was ready. He produced sworn affidavits from the women at the diner, security footage showing Anna there during the 3 a.m. call. He even had a tech expert who claimed the blog post about Leo's elephant was made from a public library computer, not Anna's device. The judge called a recess. In the hallway, I saw Anna surrounded by her supporters, playing the victim perfectly. One woman was actually crying, patting Anna's shoulder. My lawyer pulled me aside. "This isn't going well," he admitted. "She's created reasonable doubt about everything." When we returned, the judge had questions. She grilled me about the anxiety medication, about why I'd taken Leo out of town. Anna's lawyer jumped on every answer, twisting my words. I felt like I was drowning. Then Anna took the stand. She was brilliant, tears at just the right moments, voice breaking when she talked about missing Leo. She admitted to poor judgment in trying to see him, but framed it as a mother's desperation. She even apologized for the elephant incident, claiming she'd found it at a thrift store and gotten emotional. The judge seemed moved. She asked Anna about the nursery art installation. Anna had an answer ready. It was her way of processing trauma, recommended by her art therapist. She'd already painted over it, she said, preparing a proper nursery for when Leo could visit. My heart sank. Anna was winning. The judge announced she'd review everything and issue a decision within a week. As we filed out, Anna brushed past me. "See you soon," she whispered. That week was torture. I barely left Leo's side at his grandparents' house. We installed more cameras, changed the locks again. Anna's parents were as worried as I was. Her mother confided that Anna had been asking about Leo's passport, whether they kept it in the house. Thursday afternoon, my lawyer called. His voice was grim. "The judge is granting Anna supervised visits, 2 hours every Saturday at the court-appointed facility, starting this weekend." I felt the floor drop out from under me. "But the evidence wasn't enough," he interrupted. "The judge believes Anna deserves a chance to rebuild the relationship under supervision." I'm sorry. I hung up and just sat there, numb. Anna had won. Not completely, but enough. And I knew this was just the beginning. Saturday came too fast. I dressed Leo in his favorite dinosaur shirt and drove to the visitation center, my stomach in knots. The facility was sterile, cameras everywhere, a social worker waiting. Anna was already there, wearing a soft pink dress, her hair in gentle waves. She looked like the mother from a parenting magazine. The social worker took Leo from my arms. He immediately started crying, reaching back for me. "It's okay, buddy," I managed. "Daddy will be right here." I had to wait in a separate room, watching through a window. Anna tried to engage Leo, offering toys, singing songs, but he wanted nothing to do with her. He kept looking around, calling for me. After 20 minutes, he was inconsolable. The social worker had to end the visit early. Anna's face as she left was terrifying. Not sad or disappointed, furious. She'd lost control of the narrative for the first time in months. The next few visits went similarly. Leo would cry, Anna would get frustrated, the social worker would intervene. Anna started complaining that I was poisoning Leo against her. She filed a motion, claiming I was coaching him to reject her. Meanwhile, the harassment ramped up again. My car tires were slashed twice more. Anonymous calls to my workplace increased. Someone reported me to Child Protective Services for neglect. They had to investigate, even though they found nothing. 3 weeks into the visits, Anna made her move. During the visit, she suddenly clutched her stomach, claiming severe pain. The social worker called an ambulance. In the chaos, Anna grabbed Leo and ran for the exit. Security caught her at the door, Leo screaming in her arms. The police were called. Anna was arrested for attempted kidnapping. This time, there was no denying what happened. It was all on camera. Her supporters couldn't spin this. The news spread through her network, and many started questioning her story. story. At her arraignment, Anna's lawyer argued temporary insanity brought on by separation from her child, but the judge wasn't buying it anymore. Bail was set high, and Anna's parents refused to pay it. They'd finally seen enough. While Anna sat in jail awaiting trial, I discovered the extent of her planning. Police searched her apartment and found detailed notes about Leo's routines, maps with routes highlighted, even a fake ID with her photo, but a different name. She'd been planning to run. Her feminist group officially disbanded. Former members came forward with disturbing stories about Anna's behavior during meetings. One woman revealed Anna had tried to recruit her to make false reports about me. Another said Anna had bragged about manipulating therapists. The criminal trial was swift. Security footage, witness testimony, and the evidence from her apartment painted a clear picture. Anna was convicted of attempted kidnapping and criminal harassment. The sentence was 2 years in prison, with mandatory psychiatric treatment. During the sentencing, Anna finally dropped her mask completely. She screamed at me across the courtroom, promising she'd get Leo back, that I'd pay for stealing her son. The judge had her removed. With Anna in prison, life slowly stabilized. Leo stopped having nightmares. He became less clingy, more willing to play independently. We kept our routines, visits to his grandparents, play dates with cousins, normal toddler life. Anna's parents struggled with guilt. They'd enabled her for so long, made excuses. Her mother started therapy herself, trying to understand how she'd missed the signs. They remained devoted grandparents to Leo, determined to be the stable family he needed. 6 months into Anna's sentence, I got a letter from her. Not directly. That would violate the restraining order. It came through her lawyer. She wanted to sign away her parental rights in exchange for me dropping the civil suit for damages. Her lawyer explained she'd been diagnosed with several personality disorders. The prison psychiatrist believed she'd never be safe around Leo. I agreed immediately. The paperwork was filed, and within weeks, Anna was no longer Leo's legal mother. It was final, irreversible. Leo was safe. The day the papers were signed, I took Leo to the park. He was running around, laughing, chasing pigeons. Just a normal, happy toddler. A woman nearby commented on how cute he was, asked about his mother. I simply said I was a single dad. It was easier than explaining. That night, after Leo was asleep, I sat in his room watching him breathe. The elephant mobile Anna had described in that creepy call was long gone, replaced with spaceships. The walls were now covered with his artwork from daycare. This was his room, his safe space. I thought about the journey we'd been through, the fear, the exhaustion, the constant vigilance, but also the support from family, the strength I'd found, the love that kept me fighting. Leo would grow up without his biological mother, but he wouldn't lack for love. Anna's parents had already talked about explaining things to him when he was older. We'd tell him the truth, that his mother was sick and couldn't take care of him safely. We'd answer his questions honestly, but age appropriately. We'd make sure he knew it wasn't his fault. For now, though, he was just a happy toddler learning new words, discovering the world, surrounded by people who'd do anything to protect him. The battle was over. We'd won, not the way anyone would choose, but sometimes protecting the innocent means making hard choices. I closed Leo's door quietly and went to my room. For the first time in over a year, I slept through the night. No checking locks, no reviewing camera footage, no jumping at strange noises, just peaceful sleep. In the morning, Leo woke me up by climbing into my bed, chattering about wanting pancakes. I scooped him up, carried him to the kitchen. As I mixed batter and he played with measuring cups, I realized this was our new normal. Simple, safe, ours. The future stretched ahead, full of possibilities. School, sports, friends, all the normal childhood things Anna had tried to steal from him. He'd have challenges, questions about his mother, moments of confusion, but he'd face them surrounded by love, supported by family who'd proven they'd stand up for him no matter what. I flipped a pancake shaped like a dinosaur, Leo's current obsession. He clapped and giggled. In that moment, in our sunny kitchen with flour everywhere and syrup dripping onto the floor, we were just a dad and his son having breakfast. The shadows of the past year couldn't touch us here. We were home, we were safe, we were family.